Hey there, this is Seth. What is going on? I wanted to talk to you today about a little dilemma that I've had for a long time and a really cool solution that I just found to solve that dilemma. For those of you who don't already know, I'm a land investor. So I buy and sell vacant lots all over the country. And one of the challenges inherent with any kind of real estate investing career is that whenever you buy a property, you need to get a really good look at it before you buy it, for obvious reasons. For vacant land properties, it's a little bit different. It's just, it's just land, it's just dirt. There's not a whole lot of complexity to it. And for the most part, you can get a halfway decent view of what's going on just by looking at it through tools like, Google Earth, Google Street View, using other tools like Bing Maps and getting a good bird's eye view of it. I mean, with all the tools online, you can see, sort of the story of what's going on, like what's next to it, what's across the street from it, all that stuff. But it is very, very difficult to get a exact look at the property as of today without actually going to that property and seeing it with your own eyes. I still remember back when I first got started with buying and selling land. I'll tell you, I was paranoid about this. I used to spend literally hours. I remember wasting days of my time just so I could get into my car, drive to each of these properties before I bought them, just so I could see them on site and get some pictures myself before I felt comfortable actually buying the thing. And I just didn't know how else to do it without actually seeing it. I mean, this whole idea of buying it from afar just seemed ludicrous to me without actually being able to see it myself. And as my business started to grow and I started doing a lot more deals, and it got really, really hard and started chewing up just crazy amounts of time just so I could drive all over the place and feel, comfortable. And the kicker was, in a lot of these cases, when I would go and drive to these properties, whenever I would get there on site and see them myself, like, I'm not going to lie, it actually was very helpful to see it myself. In many, many cases, these properties they did not look really at all the way I envisioned they did just from looking at them online. I even remember a few cases where, I would get to a property that looked fine from the satellite maps, but when I actually got there, like somebody had dumped a bunch of garbage all over it, or there was like a demolished building and just junk strewn everywhere. And I mean, stuff like that, really, in my mind, sort of solidified the importance of seeing these things before I bought it, but I didn't really know how to do that efficiently because I didn't have the time to do it. And as things started ramping up, I started doing things like, calling a realtor in each area and asking them to go take a look at it for me. Or, finding somebody on Craigslist and saying, hey, I'll pay you $50 if you go get me some pictures. And those things worked sometimes, but I'll be honest, a lot of people on Craigslist were just really unreliable. I didn't know who they were. They weren't professionals at this. They'd either flake out or they couldn't find the property or they couldn't get good pictures. And then the realtors, they were pretty helpful, when it worked out, but, at least half the time they were just too busy for me and they didn't have the courtesy to just say no so I could find a real solution. And so trying to outsource it and find other people on the fly just ended up chewing up a lot of time too. It was very, very frustrating. And the truth is, those are sort of the ways I've been doing this for all these years when I wanted to get a good look at a property, when I really felt like it was necessary. But it's just not a good, sustainable solution. And earlier this year, I discovered this company here called WeGoLook. And this is their homepage here. And WeGoLook is really the solution to my problem. In all honesty, what this company does is they will actually send out what they call like a looker or an agent, and they will go and see whatever it is you're about to buy, whether it's, in my case, a vacant lot, or if it's a house, or if it's a car or a piece of equipment, or anything that can be just visually inspected. And they can go there and look at it, take pictures, and we'll put together a little report for you. And I actually just enlisted their help not long ago to help me take a look at a property that I currently own that I haven't seen in years. And it's in a really, really remote location, and I just sort of needed to check in on it. And I'm going to show you what I got. This is the report as we were looking at just earlier. This particular property is in a pretty remote area of Michigan. It's in a county that does not have very good public data or GIS maps or, record systems or anything like that. It's just kind of a difficult county to work in from the standpoint of getting good free information online. So really, I didn't have a lot of info that I could give them other than just a parcel map that I was able to find and the parcel number. And the property didn't even have a registered address. So, it's not like you could just type it into Google Maps and find it. You actually like literally had to know where it was. I was able to help them get most of the way there just because I sort of had the information, and they found it with no problem. And what I got here was this little report that their looker put together, and they explained here, what they saw on the property. They put together this little short write-up just explaining what they saw, and they got several pictures here, as you can see. They sort of explained by each picture, what part of the property that they were looking at, just pretty helpful stuff. And as you can see, this isn't like super high quality professional photography. It's just sort of point and shoot, same kind of thing that I would be doing if I was at this property. But it's pretty helpful. You can get a really good idea for what's at the property, what's around it, what's across the street from it, what's on it, all of that stuff. And honestly, this is the kind of thing that I could use in a property listing at some point if and when I'm trying to sell this property. So, as you can see, it's not a bad option just in terms of figuring out what's going on. Something I actually found out through this process was that somebody had come and parked their camper on my property and just abandoned it. I don't know how long this thing has been here. I haven't been to this property in literally years. I think it's been since like 2011. And this is the kind of thing where, I don't know when I was going to get back up to this property. Probably not anytime soon. Could have been years before I knew this. And all I had to do was hire this service, which was very inexpensive, and it's pretty straightforward and simple. Ordering a report is very easy. All you got to do is go to the website. I got a link to this page right below this video, and this is what you're going to see, something like this. It sort of explains what the report consists of and any extras that you can order. And all you got to do is go here and click on request a quote to move forward, and then just put in your info and describe what you need and what you need to look at and hit submit. And then you'll probably get an email back from them within the hour. That was how quick I got mine back, and you can get the process started. If you want to see another example of what their sample report looks like, you can click right here. As you can see, it's not crazily detailed. It's not like an appraisal or something like that. It's intended to be a much more simple, just visual inspection and assessment of what's going on. And as you can see from these kind of pictures here, it's nothing terribly complex, but it is much, much, much more helpful than simply relying on satellite maps or a bird's eye view or even Google Street View. Because a lot of times the images that you're going to see on Google Street View are several years old already, and they're not going to be nearly this detailed where they show you, these kind of close-ups and any particular issues. And like in this example, check out the roof on this house. That roof is not in good condition. It's probably going to have to be replaced. And granted, this kind of property inspection is not giving you a cost estimate on that. It's not even really giving you a recommendation, but it is giving you a visual assessment that you would not, by any means, be able to get through Google Street View or Google Earth or any other kind of satellite mapping service. It's really hard to replicate the value of an actual on-site inspection without getting an actual on-site inspection that's intended for that. So anyway, as you can see, it's just a really helpful property inspection report, and it's not expensive. $69 is a bargain. I would easily pay that much, if not more, to some person on Craigslist to go do it, and they would do a bad job anyway. So if you're running a business anything like mine, or for that matter, if you already own like a rental property and you just want to check in on it, or if you're about to buy a car or buy anything really that just sort of needs a good visual inspection before you pull the trigger, I think WeGoLook is just an amazing, extremely convenient and cost-effective solution to that problem. And I'm going to be using these guys pretty regularly just because it's way more convenient than anything else I've ever found. So anyway, I thought it was really helpful. I thought you might think the same thing, so I thought I'd share it with you. Next time you need just a quick look at a property, check them out. They got links below this video. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can go check out the blog post. There's a link to that as well. And yeah, hopefully you found that as helpful as I did. So that is all. Wish you all the best, and I hope to see you again soon.